Lance, you referenced it a little on Saturday as far as just kind of finishing strong. I wonder, what do you draw on motivation-wise to go up there and finish, and what do you point to, and how do you get these guys up after a tough loss and a rivalry game and that atmosphere and all that?
Well, probably in the simplest terms, pride. I mean, why would you put all this work in and not finish strong, not go out and why cheat yourself for put out the effort needed. Winning 8 games, it will be a nice achievement, and I'm not sure how the bowl layout will go, but obviously I think the more wins, the opportunities can change and opponents can change, experiences can change. So give ourselves best opportunity. Yeah, a lot of things to play for yet. We can show up and put in our time and go through the motions, and that'd be a pretty disappointing way to wrap up this regular season. So I'm pleased we attacked it today. I think they understood that, and they said we're disappointed, but I'm not disappointed in them. Okay, disappointed in the outcome and some things that happen. And again, it shows once again that 3 to 5 plays in a football game could make a huge difference, win or lose, and it's played its way again here for us.
We know about your leadership council and your leaders, and there's a lot of voices on this team. Is there a guy or 2 or 3 that stand out when it comes to motivating this team, that have the loudest voice in that area?
You know, I don't know that. I'd be taken away from some of the others. You know, I think the maturity and understanding, we don't have a ton of overly vocal. We have a good group of that lead by example very well, are better in one-on-one type of things. But I mean, I can go across the board on different guys and their different styles of that. You know, there's one we'll never talk about that is highly respected in our locker room is Ben Easter's, that quarterback. And guys, still to this day, a lot of things, he's on the leadership council because of who he is and how he goes about it. And no matter what his situation is, I think we get a lot from a lot of different guys, but you know, whether it be, we have some guys in that leadership group that, you know, pretty banged up, and you know, I think this team respects how they keep fighting, keep perseverance and going through it, and that's a great sign of leadership and all those things.
You mentioned the health aspect there. Just generally as a team, how are you guys feeling with the entering the last week of the regular season?
Probably like everyone else across the country. I think that's that time of year. I think you know, last week was probably our most difficult week of prep as far as able bodies, and I think we still played extremely hard and well. And we haven't been, you know, other than quarterback, I'd probably say where you've been hit at one position. I mean, our offensive line moving guys around last week to give us the best 5 to 6 was unique for us. But you know, today is one of those days again. Like, I don't know the last time Kenny Logan practiced on a Monday, and it's, you know, for various reasons. You know, Bryce Cable, who didn't finish a game and did not practice today. You know, so there's other guys. Melvin Dotson did not practice today. So, you know, we've got some guys that are fighting through it, and we'll see what the next couple days bring.
You mentioned Bryce there. We saw Armage play snap at left tackle, moved over to right tackle for most of the second half. Can you speak to his mental growth over the last year, being able to go from playing that to now tackle as well?
Growth, maturity, understanding, all those things. Marj's come through, and he's done a really nice job. To see that in him, and you know, and there's a lot more to it than you know. Here he is playing left guard most of the time, 95+% of the time in a left-handed stance, and then he's bumped out to tackle, and he's out playing and he's playing right tackle, and you know, different assignments, different footwork. The versatility there. You know, Michael Ford's done that before for us. He's played all over. We thought about that, so we'll kind of see what the options are. And then Kobe Baines probably played as much as he's played in one.
Thanksgiving is on Thursday. Do you do anything special with the team on Thursday?
We have our good routine with, it's a balance for the roster, okay? And we have a lot of guys that have been home a long time, so we try between our Wednesday practice, if a guy's in a non-travel situation, we try to give them the opportunity to go home, okay? So we'll probably be a little short-handed than normal for a Thursday practice. And then we have our regular morning. That's the nice thing about being a morning team. You don't have to change too much what you do. We'll have a Thanksgiving dinner here, but as well, those that are within a driving opportunity can go home as well. And a lot of the others, the position coaches, will have guys at their house. And if, again, nothing's mandatory for somebody. Sometimes guys, are going to FaceTime and do things at home, and other guys are going to take advantage of downtime. Some guys will go later in the evening and hang out at coach's home. So it's a little bit of everything. And then, of course, a little bit different, of course, when we got to get on the road on Friday. So
Cincinnati's had a tough year record-wise, but at home they seem to play people a lot closer than they have on the road. What have you seen from Cincinnati?
Yeah, I really haven't studied the way home and away, so I'll take your word for it. I'll just say that they, a lot better than what their record shows. And again, that's one of those things that, they're running the ball pretty well. They've got an athletic quarterback that they get on the perimeter in nakeds and boots, and he can run the ball in other ways, physical runner. They're probably consistency and probably adjusting to some things in our league is it can be, but it's going to be their senior day, and you're going to see a team that's going to be ready to play. Defensively, the nose guard's a really good player. And as well as because their three-man front's impressive. Pace of the Packers are an impressive player. So they've been there. I can't answer the home and away thing. Could be, and I go through it every time and I'll say what they're talking about is how you match up with people. And we're gonna have a big challenge up front on both sides of the ball, and we've got to be able to come out of the gate on the road playing well.
You reviewed the tape from Saturday. Did anything else stand out to you about Cole's performance, or was it pretty much what you had thought watching live?
Pretty gritty performance by a young man under those circumstances. You could see him get more comfortable. I think even someone throw now, the first interception, I'm sure he wants to have back, is the timing of it and throwing. That's unfortunately, it's on the job training, learning experience. But never once did he have that look in his eye that this moment was too big for him, and his composure and again, it's been pretty consistent really since fall camp on how he goes about. So I don't look at him and go, oh, that's right, he's a true freshman who just got here, So I'm pleased with it, but yet plenty to work on, and there's some throws that. They need to get out probably, even the ones that are completed, just a little quicker, and he'll see that. And again, but to be put in that situation and where we were at and opportunities to win, I did a fine job.
Lance, over 90 recruits, a lot of highly regarded guys.
Yeah.
What do you think they saw, just how your program's evolved in the atmosphere?
Well, again, you don't know how many have been here before. I didn't get to come, but yeah, it's again, the atmosphere was outstanding for college football and for the state of Kansas, I thought, really, and where we were at the last time they came to Lawrence, crowd-wise compared to now, is I think a tribute to our team. And making it that type of game and where it's going to hopefully stand for a long time. Feedback, after the game and yesterday, even this morning, some through messaging has been, very, very excited, very enjoyed the atmosphere, everything, can see the progress and direction of where this is going. And I don't know if any of you noticed when you're walking in, they're not wasting any time getting ready to start this project as well. And as this program will start changing in our surroundings. So I think it's a good chance for somebody to see that, and also see that we still have better days ahead of us.
I think last week I talked a little bit, asked you about Devin Neal, and I asked what comparison-wise. I was talking to former KU quarterback Carter Stanley about this on breakdown. He mentioned that he reminds him of former KU running back Khalil Herbert. Do you see the comparison there at all?
I'm not familiar that much with his running style, so it's kind of hard for me to. And I always try to. I know you asked a little bit about Jared Patterson, and comparisons. I want to be careful of because I'm a slight either person. So, again, Devin has shown the last 2 games with his big runs a couple different things: patience and reading things, setting things up, and then acceleration. The one the week before, he showed great speed. I thought from the start, and not only just on that play, but it was almost like he was sparking our team at the time that we needed a shot in the arm to kind of get us going, and that play was that. The weird thing is, all those things that we talk about him, I'll always go back to him sitting in Jonathan Wallace's office the first week of training camp as a true freshman, making sure he understood protections and what he was supposed to do and how he was supposed to do it. And it wasn't about just what plays I get to carry the ball. And those are the things that you talk about him and his game and his completeness that I admire.
Yeah, and he joined Elite Company, I think, this weekend, to the Jayhawks, first time ever, third time ever, consecutive years, 1,000 yards. You talked about how complete he's become as a back. What have you seen growth-wise compared to just even last season to now?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for letting me know that, because Brian Haney's in Hawaii, and I usually get that from my Haney statistics. So, again, for what it does it shows, again, a talented young player. Of course, we all know that, being right from here and the consistency and what he's given this program, which is tough to do. He didn't practice much last week, and to see him play and do some of that in game 11, because the first 2 years it wasn't quite that, it's and for good reason too, but now he's in a better spot. I think it says a lot for him, for any back that in our program or just thinking about being in our program. I like to always think the balance and consistency, because we've always talked about receivers and what they've done and what milestones are hitting there, what the quarterback's doing. I don't know. You guys research that stuff better than me. I'd just like to know how many FBS schools have started 3 quarterbacks this year, different quarterbacks. I mean, there's a few, obviously, but for us to be able to do that, but also that be able to have the production, and that you need that from a guy like Devin and as well.
In honor of Thanksgiving, what would you say you're most thankful for with either this team or program or university, or I guess wherever you want to take that?
Well, first of all, I was thankful for my family and their support and their sacrifices. I'm thankful to our players and staff for the efforts and everything that they go about in that, and I guess which ties right in. Thankful and blessed to be the head coach at the University of Kansas and the opportunity we've been given. We've come a long way, but we have a lot to do yet. And the opportunity to live here and be welcomed. It's been everything we hoped it would be, and a lot to be thankful for, and thank you for all of you guys in your work, because a lot of head coaches don't get to sit with a group that we can be honest and have good dialogue without being overly what's the word I'm looking for? Aggressive, whatever. But we both have jobs to do, and those things, and hopefully we can keep doing that. But I appreciate you asking.
Guess we got to get a quarterback question. Jason?
I don't, Jalen's probably. Oh.
No, Jason. Will Jason be able to start on Saturday?
Will he be able to? I think he will be clear to. He practiced today. We will continue to make our observations as we go. I think both guys should be ready and able to play, and looking forward to it.
And both guys being Cole and Jason.
Yes, right now, yeah. But we could still play Jalen and redshirt him too.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Segue.
No, it's gonna be on the same topic. You mentioned practice time. I guess when you mentioned practice time contributing to why Cole started over Jason on Saturday against Kansas State, what more would you have wanted to see from Jason to be able to start him in that instance?
Needed to practice more. Yeah, that's probably the best way to say it right now. For him for us to be comfortable, for him to be comfortable, as he's getting the clearance to do things, there's just, I'll just leave it that, that's probably the best way to say it, okay? And now, if he had to go out there, we could have, but, what we felt at that time where he was at in, being totally cleared and yet the amount of time that he practiced, we thought it was best to go with Cole.
In Cole, Mickey has talked about an offensive line or just a line play in general can tell a lot about what a program is and where it's at. I'm just curious with Dominic Queenie specifically, what does he say about your program, what he's been able to do?
Well, I'm not really sure, meaning coming from the Division II level, or is it meaning just what he's been able to do as a player while he's here?
Yeah.
I mean, Scott Brooks is an excellent offensive line coach, an excellent teacher. I think the thing about Dom is that, you probably didn't even, when we ran the quarterback sneak, did you see that he played center? You missed that, didn't you? Okay. So, we've lined him up in a lot of different spots. And he's done a nice job, and he's a versatile player that, we thought we were getting ourselves a pretty good player that could help us from the start. But, he didn't play a lot in the year before, and it was, his approach, demeanor, all the things I always talk about, he's always got a very steady, calm presence, but, he's very steady in his performance and his approach and all those things, and, I think the guy's just getting started. I think he could be a guy that could play on Sundays for a long time.
Anyone else for Coach? All right, thanks everyone.